In this video, we are going to see the importance of calendar. So why calendar is important before making a schedule? So calendar define when and how long work can be performed. Reason. Before preparing a schedule, it initial to define the calendar because the activity duration calculation depend upon the calendar is defined the working day and non-working day, holiday and Sunday. So if you are seeing on the client perspective, they have a more holidays, national holidays and gadgeted holidays as compared to the contractor. Their working day can be 5 day a week, but contractor working day will be on higher side. Different activities such as construction, design, and approval follow different work pattern. Like design, always given to the design consultant. So they generally perform 5 day a week or 6 day a week or 8 hours. So construction timeline and design timeline are different. Without a proper calendar, the schedule becomes unrealistic and inaccurate. So before creating your detailed program, your calendar should be in place or your calendar should be created in the Primavera. I also tell you the reasons with the example why the calendar become very important. So calendar is the foundation of scheduling. Without defining it currently, the entire program will be incorrect because all the durations and calculate based on the calendar. So in our project, we are going to create the different calendar. The first calendar is 24 into 7, all day working without holidays. So why we use such type of calendar? First, for the project timeline, because we want the same project timeline defined in the contract. So that's why we want a calendar without any holidays. For project milestone, for extension of time, your for right of way and some approval activities. So right of way does not consider any holidays when we create because it is totally depend upon the duration time frame. Reason because this is based on the calendar days, not on the working days. So no impact of the holiday. That's why we always create a 24 into 7 calendar whenever we create our project. So this calendar should be there in your project. And I will tell you why this calendar should be there. Second, calendar is 24/7, all day working with holidays. So why 24/7? Why I'm not considering any shift? The reason behind that, the construction work can happen round the clock, like rough concrete core, which continue up to 1 or 2 days without interruption. That's why we are taking 24 into 7. That work can be performed at any time frame. People come with a question, then you have not shown the shift change, lunch, and all. So basically, that can be described in the your narrative statement. Whenever you submit your program, you always submit a narrative statement. So you clearly mention that out of 24 into 7 calendar, we have considered two shifts and two lunch break. So the effective work time period is around 20 hours per day, but calendar is taken 24 into 7 as work can be done anytime depend upon the site condition. So this is the second calendar. Third is your design calendar, which mainly 6 into 8 and 5 into 8 is totally depend upon how your DDC and design consultant going to work. It can be 6 into 8 or 5 into 8 works calendar based on their working pattern. Now this calendar is critical to ensure your timeline for the design submission and the approval and the ability of the design consultant. Now client approval calendar. As we are aware that client having high holidays percentage as compared to the contractor. So in some of the contractor they have on given their calendar that this is our holidays and this is our working days. Like in their organization, first and second Saturday day is not working, or all Saturdays not working. So this will be depend upon the contract condition. If it's mentioned that you have to consider the client approval calendar like that. If I give the examples, in current situation, the employer has a leave from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but contractor generally leaves in this period on the Eid day, which is for the 1 days. Okay, but if you are working in the Gulf region, your holiday day will be a 2 days. So it's totally depend upon the area you are working. So calendar will be modified according to that. Why we are talking more about the client calendar? Because the government working days and holidays are different from the civil contractor or from the construction firm. So which include a high numbers of non-working days compared to the contractor. So we have to include those things. The one of the major calendar is river and monsoon calendar. A dedicated calendar is incorporated to account for monsoon. In fact, especially infrastructure projects involve foundation and substructure work. It is typically considered for July to September month, and in some region, monsoon it starts from June, so we consider according to that. This is the productivity loss calendar. We have seen so many example in the civil construction where contractor write a letter that their productivity has been reduced because they have not considered such thing in their program. And I also face the question from the my student that why we consider a separate monsoon calendar. We can incorporate those duration in those activities which fall only in the monsoon calendar. So I will also tell you why we use monsoon calendar and why do not adjust in the certain activities. Because in baseline you can adjust. Okay, it is 100% right. But when you are updating your program, it is very difficult to manage such thing because engineer employer cannot see you that calendar. They only see the activity time frame. That's why the calendar become important because given activity which we have considered in monsoon can be shifted out of the monsoon. So it will not show the proper impact. So I will give you with the proper example why we required this calendar. When you are working on the expressway and the high speed bullet train, so you generally having a major river. So major river you cannot execute during the peak monsoon because of high flood level, security risk, and the site access constraint because you have to construct the temporary bridge to access or the start the construction of river. So in that scenario, what happened? In EOT, suppose they have give you drawing in the month of June, still you cannot start the work because temporary structure work should be there and you cannot reach up to the scoring depth. So that's why the monsoon calendar is become important. If you have not taken, so engineer said that you have not considered the river calendar, impact will be not count in the extension of time. That's why this type of calendar is very important. Now I will show you the creation of same calendar in our Primavera. To create a calendar in Primavera, go to Enterprise, click on Calendar. So you find there is a three type of calendar. One is global, resource, and project. So global calendar are those calendar which is visible and can be used in any project. Project related calendars are those calendar which can only use in that particular project, cannot be seen and visual in the another project. And the resource, if I am as a resource, so I should also have my calendar, like I'm not working on Sunday or Saturday, or might be any other day. So that become my resource calendar. So this is the three type of calendar. Now we are going to create our first calendar. So for that we will add. So we will select 7 day work week calendar. So this is the our first calendar. So always I give the initial based on my project code. So HSR 24 into 7, no holiday. So I will go to modify. First work week, I will make it all 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24. Okay. Now time period here, I will write 24. Here 168, 720. Last I will do 665 into 24. So 8760. So this is our first calendar. Now we are going to create another calendar. So we will go to add. I will select 24/7 calendar. So I will write HSR 24 into 7 holiday. Okay. I can write here construction also. Modify. So what are the holidays? Suppose 4th of March is Holi. So for making the holiday, you can select on non-working. 21st is Eid. 1st May is Labor Day. 15th August is Independence Day in India. Gandhi Jayanti, Dasera, Deepavali, Christmas, New Year holiday, Now 26th Feb Republic Day. I am just marking any days Holi, Eid, Labor Day. um, So any day I'm working, non-working, Eid, Labor Day, 15th August, Ganesh Chaturthi, Gandhi Jayanti, Diwali, Dasera, Christmas, New Year, and Republic Day. So this is my holiday calendar. So I have created 24 into construction calendar. I have created 24 non-holiday calendar. Next, I will create the monsoon calendar. So again, we will select here, add construction calendar, HSR, monsoon calendar. Modify. We will come to month of July. Select 12 hours because we have decreasing the productivity by 50. Select this 12 hours, 12 hours, and also 12 hours. Here also 12 hours. So this is our monsoon calendar. Now again, add, select monsoon calendar. We will write here HSR river calendar. Modify. Again, we will select this 3 month. Put non-work because monsoon we are doing no work. And this is the non-work. So this is all the standard. Now we are going to create again with a holiday for the design calendar. Modify, or not modify, add, select construction calendar. Here we will write HSR, design calendar, modify, work week, we will put 0, 8, 8, 8, and 8 here. Time period here, 8, 48. So it is coming around 208, 313 into 8 to 2504. So we have created all the calendar here. Next is resource calendar. So I will add, I will select here 7 day week calendar, or we will delete, add construction calendar, Akhilesh Shukla as a working resource, like planning engineer, modify. So now I will say work time, Sunday is my holiday. And okay, so that resource calendar is created for the Akhilesh Shukla. So we have created the global calendar and the resource calendar. So whatever the project calendar you want to create, again you can add and you can select any calendar so that can be created. So most of the calendar I use in global, and always I give the my project code. So like that I can use in my particular project. And for every project, I will create a new calendar because all projects have a different holidays and the working conditions. So according to that, I will create a new calendar. Now I will show you the impact of the calendar. So first, I'm going to add the column called calendars. I will find from general. This is my calendar. Apply. And I am going to add the first activity. I am taking this calendar is 24 into 7 calendar, and I am saying project duration. So I am saying 2 years is 730. So I will write 730 here and schedule. So now you can see the 730, the 2 years will be considered to be completed on 15th of March. But due to the holiday, it is completing on 6th of April, and now your project timeline is showing 652 days because this calendar is considered with the holiday. So that's why we created one calendar 24 into 7 with a zero holiday, because for your land handover and everything, the holidays will be not considered. And for the project timeline, whatever the given in the contract document, you should not consider any holidays. any lesser time because your project, if you see in contract, is always right this much of days. That means 7 into 24 calendar. So once if I change this into 7 into 24 no holiday calendar, you can see 730 days. Again on top you finding 730 days. I have not changed anything. Everything remains same, but you can change the date here. It is showing 15 March 28, which is the exact right date. On the top you are getting a right timeline. Same if I change this calendar here with holiday, it's showing 730 days, but here it is showing 752. So when you are not using 24 into 7 calendar, it will give you a wrong result at the top. So that's why you have to consider 7 into 24. So your original contract timeline will be matched in the Primavera. And this issue faced by so many students while giving the calendar, that on the top our original duration is not matched with the contract document. So for that use default calendar 24 into 7. In later stage I also show how to select your default calendar for the project. So we change this into non-holiday. Now I will going to show you the example of monsoon. In fact, I have shown 24/7 holiday and non-holiday calendar. Now I will show the impact of monsoon. So I will use here the land handover, which is 30 days. Again, it will no holiday. And I will put filing works 75 days, relationship with the land handover and schedule. And here the calendar should be working calendar. So this is my calendar. So now I am going to add some resources to give you the reality check. So this is my quantity 75 and schedule. So piling surely impacted the monsoon. So we have not assigned the monsoon calendar. So if we go to resource assignment, we can see 476772 equally distributed. But if I come to activity and if my land is delayed by 30 days, so what happened? Here, I have not given the monsoon calendar. So many people say only selected activity we can modify the duration. Why should we give the monsoon calendar? So I will give you the example here. So this project is shifted by 30 days only, and you can see it is equally distributed. Okay, because the calendar does not have a monsoon impact. So again, if I change this into 30, and I will make this as a monsoon calendar and schedule. So currently this activity is not in monsoon periods, so resource assignment show the proper distribution. Okay, now the real game comes. Why this calendar is very important. If there is a delay from the employer, so previously I am getting end date of 29th of July. Now see the difference. I have used the monsoon calendar without change of the duration. 75, it is remains 75, but my end date shifted 26 August. So now I am eligible for 2 months of EOT, 4 month, 1 month of delay from the employer because they have delayed their land. If I show in resource assignment, you can see after July, the resources are and the capacity is reduced to 50% because we have given the loss of productivity calendar in the monsoon. That's why, so in this scenario, your calendar come into a picture. Suppose I only adjust into the monsoon activities. So my land get delayed, so I will not get anything from this activity because I have not considered those duration in my activity because it is completed before the monsoon. So, so in baseline, you can adjust the duration which falling in the monsoon period or by manually, but when you updating the work program, then your monsoon calendar come into a picture and help you to get the exact timeline. That's why the calendar is become very important. Same if I select this as a river calendar, so you can see the impact schedule. So if I have a proper calendar, so I am showing that 3 month I am doing nothing. So that 30 days having an impact of almost previously if I am not using this calendar, I just use normal calendar. So I am getting extension of time up to 29 July 26. But using river calendar, it will reach up to 31st August 26. So that means I have full July, August, September, October. So 4 month benefit I will get based on the calendar. That's why the importance of calendar come into a picture. Manually you can adjust it, but when you start updating, there is a hundred of activity you cannot manage. So preparation and the assignment of calendar is very important before creating your detailed program. I will also show you the example of design in there. So suppose we are going to add three activities here. First is test file report, then submission of design and approval of designs. So I will put 10, 14, 28, and currently link all activities, schedule, and just I am just putting normal calendar. Here I will give the lag that approval will start after 5 days. So many people say why we are using design calendar because it can serve the purpose based on one calendar itself. So why we required it? Suppose engineers say that we required design calendar 8 hours working and 6 days because designer working 6 days or the DDC working 6 days. So if you have submitted your program, now you are going to change the calendar. Suppose I change calendar here. So 6 into 8, this is our design calendar and schedule. Now if we schedule it, so you can find the difference. Okay. Here the float of 5 days is converted into 15, 14 days duration convert into 42, and 28 days duration becomes 84. So this is the impact of change of calendar once your program gets submitted. So this is only two activity you can identify easily. But your program having a thousand of the activity for the design. So it is very difficult to manage and reduce this duration. Now the end date is 7th September. If we use old calendar, so date will be fall. It should be fall on 14th May 26. So from 5th to 9th, there is a 4 month of impact. So it's very difficult to manage in large scale. That's why the assignment of calendar is very important before submission your detailed program to client or preparing of your detailed program. So you should aware that how many calendar you want going to assign in a project. So if I select design calendar, you can see the impact. Here again, design calendar, you can go and select the impact. So this impact just not only for the duration part, also in the flow. So again, for back date, you want to track, you have to change this all. Here 5 days. So this much of work you have to perform. So you can understand the number of activity. Again, see 14th or 18th. It is showing 21st of May. Even we change the duration because Sunday is not working. So it is adding all one days. Okay. From 1428 is almost 2 weeks and 4 weeks. So 6 days, 7 days of holidays is adding in this particular time frame. So that's the important of the calendar. And next I will show how to assign and fill down the calendar. Important advice, always create your calendar before jumping or creation of your activity. It surely helps you a lot and it reduce your rework.